The Southeast Brazilian Continental Shelf, Physical Environment and Nutrient Sources. The Brazilian coastline extends for more than 8,500 kilometers along the South American continent. It goes from the country's equatorial north to the temperate south, between latitudes 4 degrees north and 34 degrees south, and represents one of the world's longest continental coasts. Narrow in the northeast, ca 10 kilometers at 14 degrees south, and wide in the southeast, ca 180 kilometers, coastal shelf presents a variety of ecosystems and habitats that brings expressive biodiversity and endemism to the region. Mangroves, coastal lagoons, and coralline calcareous algal reefs are important ecosystems of the coast, but marine sediments by far provide the largest area for benthic plants and animals. Indeed, after the ocean water column, marine sediments constitute the second biggest habitat on the planet. The Southeast Brazilian Continental Shelf, SBCS, or South Brazil Bight, SBB, is one out of 6 characteristic physical environments found in the Brazilian continental shelf and the most studied. Its coastal limit lies between 23 degrees south and 28.5 degrees south approximately, and the inner, middle, and outer shelves are present on the extensive sea floor and separated by slight declines from each other. Broadly, sediments are distributed in strips along the coastline. Terrigenous bottoms predominate on the inner shelf in contrast with the outer shelf where carbonate sediments are the principals. Inner shelf and proximal bottoms of middle shelf are composed by sand, but near 70 meters a sharp change occurs on the middle shelf due to the presence of a large deposit of silt and clay. Based on the bottom topography and benthic macrofauna distribution, the north shelf of the southern Brazil Bight was divided into 2 major areas, inner and outer shelf, separated by the 50 meters isobath due to the strong coupling of macrofauna and sedimentary variables. Such division is valid for benthic animals with restricted locomotion and lifestyle dependent on geochemical characteristics of sediment grains. Location of the Southeast Brazilian Continental Shelf. The isobaths depict the Brad shelf configuration and the geographic position of the studied sites. In the major part of the Southeast Brazilian Continental Shelf, water movement is driven in different timescales by wind, the Brazil Current, BC, and tides. The Brazil Current is part of the southward branch of the South Equatorial Current when it approaches the coast of South America between 7 and 17 degrees south. It flows southwestward along the shelf break to the subtropical convergence, between 33 and 38 degrees south. In wider shelves the Brazil Current approximates to the coastline and fills at least outer shelf. The Brazil Current transports 3 water masses with characteristic thermohaline properties that interact along the shelf and shelf break according to the large-scale wind field: tropical water, TW, relatively warm, T greater than 20 degrees Celsius, and salty, S greater than 36, South Atlantic Central water, SACW, relatively cold, T